Good morning, dear students. We are going to begin 11th standard syllabus with a poem named A Photograph. It is written by Shirley Tolson. In this poem, she recalls her mother and her memories while looking at a childhood photograph when her mother was 12 years old or so. She has been deceased 12 years ago and she cannot explain her grief on her mother's loss. Here is the poetess Shirley Tolson. And this is a photograph which matches with what she has been watching. Let us just see the first 4 lines. The cardboard shows me how it was when the 2 girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she the big girl, some 12 years or so. There is a new word, paddling means walking. In these lines, the poet is looking at an old photo album which is made up of cardboard. In the picture, there are 3 girls who are walking on the beach holding each other's hands. The girl in the middle is the tallest and the oldest. The other 2 girls on each side are younger than her. The girl in the middle is the poet's mother. She is around 12 years old when the picture was taken. Let us look at this picture once again. Now we are going to see the lines from 5 to 9. All 3 stood still to smile through their hair. At the uncle with the camera, a sweet face, my mother's that was before I was born, and the sea which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. Transient means temporary, short term. In the above lines, the poet describes how the photograph was taken. Her mother's uncle took the photograph and told them to stop and pause. All 3 of them left their wet hair open and smiled at the camera. The poet's attention is drawn towards his mother's face, which is described as a sweet face. The photograph was taken long before the poet was born. The poet calls their feet terrible transient, as they were so young by then, and now they had grown older. On the other hand, the sea which touched their feet has changed less. Lines 10 to 13 we can see. Some 20-30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot, "See Betty and Dolly," she would say, "and look how they dressed us for the beach. The sea holiday." After 20, 30 years later, she would laugh at the photograph which was taken when she was at the year of 12. She would tell me to look at her cousins, Betty and Dolly, and how their parents would dress all three of them up for the beach. They would have planned to take a photograph beforehand. Lines 14 and 15 go like this. Was her past, mine is her laughter, both wry with the labored ease of loss. Wry means mocking, ironic. The poet recalls the sea holiday was her mother's favorite moment from the past. While the poet's favorite moment from the past was her mother's laughter, both the women would think about those past memories which they cannot live again. They tried their best to adjust to what they lost. Lines from 16 to 19. Now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived, and of these circumstances there is nothing to say at all. It's a silence of silences. In the above lines, the poet says that her mother died 12 years ago. The same age her mother was in the time when this photograph was taken. Whenever the poet thinks of her mother's death, she cannot explain what effect she has of her mother's death. Death has silenced her mother, which has also left her speech. Dear students, for today, you have to go through these explanations one by one, line by line, and to try to learn this by heart. A day after, we will come again to talk about the figures of speech and other important matters. Till then, bye bye.